Welcome to LI on the Rise. This is all about people who are chasing their dreams. Today, I'm joined by a music artist. He's got a lot of flavors, man. There's some pop, punk, rap, hip hop. He's got it all. Please introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? I'm Salem Shawty. I'm an artist from Long Island, New York, and let's get into it.
Welcome to the show, man. Long time coming.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for having me. Like we were saying in like our little introduction, I've been tapped in with you guys since like 2017. So it's an honor to finally be featured. I feel like the Long Island scene is something that doesn't really get the representation it deserves, and you guys are out here showing out for the community. So it's important.
Yeah, man. That's the whole thing behind it. It's just like there's just too much talent, and there's just not enough people pushing that talent. So. And people got like their friends and their group and their little fan base, but it's like, yo, we need more people being like, yo, check this out. This is dope, you
Yeah,
know?
because you know what it is. It's like you can only promote your music to like your friends and like your immediate circle for so long. It's like when you start branching out into people you don't know, and then that's when you start to actually become legit. Because you got to think of it like every bigger artist, it's not just their friends coming to their shows. It's people who don't really know them, but they connect with the music or they connect with the message, and that's kind of like where we got to start pushing these local artists to get to. So it's not just homies listening, it's not just homies promoting, it's everybody.
Just to start things off, you have a new album called Love Songs, and your album cover is very interesting. What is the story with the picture for that?
so so I took that picture was taken on a very drunken night with a couple of my friends. So the person laying on the couch, that's my homeboy Sam. He did the art on the cover. So he's actually a graphic designer with a brand called Edge of Town, and he does art. He does pretty much everything. I want him to design tattoos for me. He is one of the most talented people I've ever met. But yeah, it was just a pretty funny picture, and I'm uh I'm really inspired by Midwest emo and like the new emo revival movement. And if you look at their album covers, a lot of it's just like either really funny pictures of like their friends or, like pictures of like suburban houses and stuff like that, which is very minimal art on top of it. So that cover, I should say, was actually made by Edge of Town on Snapchat with just like the Snapchat draw tool, and we edited it down to make it look like a Polaroid. And I'm really happy with how that cover came out. And I am in the picture. I'm just all the way in the back. I'm the kid laying in the bed with my middle fingers up. So, and then the other kid is my friend Peter. He was just holding a water bottle. He looked mad funny. So he said, yo, we should use this for the cover. And I said, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Dude, it's very eye-catching. It's like very hilarious.
Yeah, because like the subject matter and the stuff I talk about is, it's deep, it's heavy sometimes, but a big part of the old school like pop punk aesthetic, especially because Blink 182 is one of my favorite bands, is my favorite band of all time, and Green Day is one of them as well. They almost had like a frat boy kind of aesthetic where a lot of their music videos were like funny and jokey. Like, so I think of like the First Date music video, or like the All the Small Things video. Like, they're talking about real shit, but those music videos kind of fit into their personality. It's just like a bunch of dudes hanging out. And so I like to drag that into kind of my into my aesthetic as well, because that's what I'm influenced by, and that's just real, like I try to keep myself as authentic as possible.
I want to talk about some songs on this album. So you have a song called If It's Easier to Hate Me.
Yeah, actually Kennedy XOXO is on that song. The
Yo, shout out to Kennedy, man.
Yeah, shout out Kennedy.
But in the chorus of that song you say, if it's easier to hate me, do it, baby. And you say it a couple times. Who are we talking about?
So without getting into too much detail, a lot of this album was inspired by kind of like the past 2 years of my life. um I was in a dope relationship for a really long time, and it just kind of out of nowhere just fell apart. So I find it's kind of like it's almost biographical in a sense, where like, yeah, like I don't know how to move on from this. So sometimes like a lot of people find it easier to hate somebody who did nothing wrong just so it's easier for them to move past it. And yeah, if you've ever heard the expression, if you love something enough, you have to let it go. Like, I don't want the person to be as hurt as I was exiting that relationship. So if for them to move on so they're not hurt, even though I'm still hurting, if they have to hate me so they're happy eventually, I'm perfectly fine with that. I just want, if you love something enough, you got to let it go. So I still love this person. I will never have a bad thing to say about this person, but if they have to hate me to move on and be happy with their life, then that's on them, and that's perfectly fine.
That was some really powerful words, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Do you want to I mean this might be a little much, but like why did it fall apart? Like
Honestly, dude, I'm still trying to piece that together to this day. I don't know. I wish it was a lot of different things, it was a lot of different things, and there were some uncomfortable conversations, but nobody got cheated on, nobody got kind of fucked over in that way. So that's why it's always mutual respect, and hopefully that person knows that their door is still always open for me. It's just I got to move on with my life, and I got to keep moving forward, and I got to pursue music full time. I haven't really been able to focus on my craft 100%, in a long time. So I'm almost kind of grateful that it happened, because Love Songs would have never have happened. There was a whole nother album planned with different songs and a different cover and a different title. And that all got scrapped when that situation went down. And then Love Songs came out.
damn, man. So right now, this current moment, are you heartbroken?
I've always been heartbroken, man. I'm a lover boy, and lover boys don't ever win.
Well, hey man, in my experience, it's like two things will get you past it. It's just time, and that will vary for everyone, and meeting someone new.
Exactly. And you know what? It's not anything new to me. I've been in relationships that have gone like this and up and down and shit. And, it's just a lot. It's because I had that happen. And then we were talking about my friend Slack. So he actually passed away like 2 months before this breakup happened. And a bunch of other shit happened in between that. So like it was just kind of one thing after another. And that's why I don't like people saying that the album is entirely about the breakup, because so much happened in such a short amount of time that like my entire world kind of fell apart out of nowhere. And that album was almost like me piecing it back together or trying to make sense of it somehow.
Damn, man. Man, you had a lot going on before this project came out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that I've always heard, like my friends said, like this is how good art gets made. And that's why like I wanted Love Songs to be perfect, dude.
What's the one song they need to listen to right now so they're like, yo, I fuck with this guy. I'm gonna listen to the whole thing.
Probably 754 days. Definitely. Actually, yeah, definitely 754. I love that song. That's my favorite song I've ever made. 150%.
All right, so everyone who's tuned in, I'm gonna put a link right down below, and you could go listen to
Yeah.
that track after the interview. Go listen to it.
Yeah, 100%.
All right,
Definitely
cool,
754.
cool, dude. So, another song, you have it's called Boardwalk,
Hmm.
and dude, the beat is sick on that, and like, there's no hip hop drums. It's kind of like a bongo sounding thing.
Yeah. So that song was produced by Knox, my basically my older brother, like my best friend, my mentor. Knox produced that song. He produced Long Beach, and then he produced If It's Easier to Hate Me on the album. And yeah, Boardwalk was a different vibe. I don't know. We heard the sample when we were making it. He pulled up that like guitar sample, and we were making it, and he's like, yo, I can't figure out the drums to this. I'm like, what if we do live drums? Like, what if we don't do like hip hop drums? And he was like, nah, you know what? Let me work. Because we were going to use like pop punk style drums, maybe, or something like that. And so I sat on that couch right there, and he sat where I'm sitting and produced it. And when the drums were finished, I was like, holy shit. Like, this is so different, but I think it kind of sets like the tone I was going for. Like it doesn't sound like any other song on the album, but I think it sets the tone for the rest of the album perfectly.
If people come to like your live show, what can they expect?
Love, love, man, community, support. My my live shows, or not my live shows, but any show that I'm performing at, um, you either come ready to accept everybody or don't come at all. 100%. Like, I don't care. I don't want your money. I don't want your streams. If you're not there to support the community around you, if you're not there to love everybody, if you're not there, if you know, if you're going to pull up and you're going to be a weirdo, or you're just like there for the wrong reasons, I don't want you there. I don't want your support. I don't need the extra body in the crowd, you know? Um, so I have I'm under this kind of like umbrella called Molly Resting. So shout out Molly Resting, shout out Lou Navas, and shout out Emmy Marks. They kind of like took me under their wing uh right after like the breakup and everything, and I was kind of like just starting to write love songs. I met Lou through Knox, and Lou was like, yo, like, come with us, like, we'll take care of you, we'll put you on shows and everything. And they've become some of my best friends, and they're, you know, teaching me how to run shows myself. So I owe a lot to Lou. Lou definitely like changed my career and my life for the better after meeting him. And he stands for the same values that I do. You know, if you come to a show and you're not like on the right timing, like, why are you there, man? You know, like, if you're not there to support people, or if like you're only there to see your friend and then you go outside while all the other artists are there, no, you pull up for everybody or don't pull up at all.
And another thing too, like it's so hard to find like a good group or a good collective. So it's like when you get that, like hang on to it, man. There's a lot of competition, there's a lot of jealousy and like this music stuff, and like it makes it not fun.
That's what I mean, you know, like kind of part of like me saying like, if you're going to be a weirdo, don't pull up. Like, there's so much, there's, I feel like ego gets really involved like in the underground scene, and we need to like really get rid of that. You know, we need to promote like a culture of supporting each other, because if we don't support each other and we're all trying to, you know, obviously we all want to be better than the next guy, so we blow up. But there's friendly competition, and then there's, you know, putting people down, you know, because if there's a friendly competition, you know, we all work together, we all make songs together. Oh, you're doing this differently, so let me try this in my next song. And then nobody's kind of, you know, nobody's kind of feels any two type of ways about it, you know. And the local music scene, from before I met Molly Resting and all the artists that, you know, came with them, a lot of people were really like that, you know, like they would pull up, they'd play their set, and then they would leave the show altogether and bring all the people they brought with them. So then the rest of the night, people are playing to an empty room. And it's like, well, like, why? I don't tell. That's why, like, when I post that I'm performing, I don't post what time I'm going on. I post what time the show starts. And then when people ask me what time do you perform, I just tell them show starts at 7, you know?
Yo, my fucking guy right there. You're not selfish. You want you and your homies to be seen. It's dope.
Yeah. And even if you're not my homie, like, just because we aren't homies doesn't mean I don't like you. I might just not know you yet. So why am I going to be weird, or like why am I going to treat you any type of differently just because we haven't spoken? Like, I come say what's up. Come hang out, you know? Like, there's no backstage, there's no green rooms, you know. No, none of us are fucking playing MSG yet. None of us are even playing Irving Plaza yet, you know. We're playing in bars, and we're playing in these small local venues. So you know, when I'm not on stage, I'm in the crowd screaming everybody else's songs, and so are all of my friends. And that's, if you're an underground artist, that's how it should be, in my opinion.
Oh, man, you just speaking the truth, man. I love it, man. Dude,
Thank you.
people need to hear this shit. It's sad. People need to hear this.
Yeah,
It's crazy
yeah,
out here.
it is, dude. It's nuts.
You have a lot of songs on your SoundCloud produced by Knox. Like, what is it about his beats that you really like?
We just have a different type of energy, you know. um so I'm very fortunate that I get to call this studio my own now. But this studio was originally owned by Knox and Slack, And around 2 to 3 years ago, my older brother took me to hang out with Knox, just normally because we all grew up together. So it was like, oh, let's go hang out with Knox. So we hung out, and he brought us here to the studio. It wasn't this room, it was a different room. But from the first time I sat down, I was like, holy shit, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be all the time for the rest of my life. And that was my junior year of high school. So yeah, so then COVID hit, and then right after lockdown, I hit up Knox, and I was like, yo, like I think I want to start making music. And he was like, all right, so come to the studio, let's do it. And I had a beat that I found off YouTube, and that was Tale of Two Summers. And I wrote Tale of Two Summers like over quarantine, like just freestyled it over the YouTube beat. And I came here, I recorded Tale of Two Summers, and then Knox was like, all right, well, we still have time. So what do you want to do? I go, do you want to like make a beat? I don't really have anything else written. This is all that I've ever done. And he played the sample for Bad for Me, and I was like, yo, this is the beat. He goes, this isn't a beat, this is a sample. And I go, well, can you make the beat? And he's like, yeah, give me a little bit. So he made it, and then I wrote Bad for Me and I wrote Bad for Me, recorded it, and finished it that night. And a couple weeks later, he was like, yo, like I showed Slack your song, and he really likes it. He wants to hop on it. So we took my verse out, and we gave Slack a verse, and that's how the Bad for Me remix happened. And fast forward 2 years, Slack unfortunately passes away, and we still got to pay rent in the studio. So Knox hits me up, and he's like, yo, like, do you want to take up the studio with me? And this way you don't have to pay for sessions, you just pay your rent, and you come whenever you want, you record yourself, you mix and master yourself, and you just cut out the middleman. And I go, absolutely. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even have the money to pay the rent yet. I just said yes, and then I just took up extra shifts at work, and that's what I've been doing ever since. Like I getting the key to this studio, I honestly had never felt more proud in my entire life. Like I said, I felt better than when I walked across the stage at my high school graduation.
In your SoundCloud bio, it says Slack lives forever.
Yeah, dude, and he does live forever. We have a painting up here that one of my old friends made of Knox and Slack. It's a picture on Knox's Instagram of him and Slack, but this person drew angel wings around Slack's silhouette. And that's unfortunately he isn't here to see it with us, but he is like our guardian angel. He watches over us, and we miss him a lot, and we try to honor him in everything we do. And my chest is tatted with lyrics from his album. And
No fucking way. What are the lyrics?
in my dreams I feel at peace. It's the first words to his first album, When the Time Comes. And that's Slack will always live forever. I will honor him in everything I do. I will always try to bring up his name somehow, some way, because he was the first person that believed in me enough to be like, yo, let me hop on a song with this kid. He was the person when I wasn't around and people were like, yo, like, I don't know if Fran's like ready for this. And from what I heard, he would tell people like, look, like give that Fran kid some time, and he'll find his way. And unfortunately, he never really got to live to see that, but he sees it now, hopefully, or I think he does. And that's that. There's not really any two ways about it. Slack will live forever, and we will make sure Slack lives forever.
That's a really interesting name that you have. How'd you come up with that?
Um, so shout out my friend Halloween Headass from Lowell, Massachusetts. I met
Halloween head
Hollow.
ass.
Yeah. I love that kid. He's one of my best friends, and one of my most frequent collaborators. I think I have like two songs with him right now. Yeah, so I back in 2021, I was going under a different name, and I met Hollow at a little Tracy show in New York City. And we were just talking about like us making music, like that came up obviously. And he was like, oh, what's your name? And I told him, and he told me his, and I was like, yo, like I don't really like my fucking SoundCloud name. Like, I think I could come up with something better. He goes, well, you fuck with Halloween and shit, right? And I'm like, yeah, bro, I've always wanted to visit like Salem, Massachusetts around Halloween time because I love Halloween. I love spooky shit. I love like dark and like weird shit that just makes normal people uncomfortable. So, um, and so I was like, yo, like, why don't I just go by Salem? Like Salem, Mass. And then I wanted to add a little flavor to it. And one day, like one of my friends said, yo, Salem Shawty. And I was like, fuck it, I'm adding that. Tack that on to the end of my name. Fuck it.
Before we end it, we're gonna play a quick game.
Okay, bet.
All right. So the posters that are behind me, you're gonna take down one of the artists and you're gonna put up a new one.
Okay, word.
So who are we taking down?
Okay, well, Amy Winehouse is a legend. You can't take her down. Peep defined our culture, so you can't take him down. Kurt, punk, grunge, legend, can't take him down. Chester, RIP, legend, can't take him down. And Ye is just Ye. You can't take it down. So unfortunately, Drake is going to have to go. And I would love to see a Blink-182 poster up there alongside all those legends because they deserve their spot.
Yo, you sure you want to take Drake down? He's like the number one hottest hip hop artist right now.
Yeah, take Drake down.
You
100%.
sure?
He's industry. I'm gonna upset a lot of people I know, but it's my episode. Take it down in the next episode. That's okay. I won't feel any two type of ways about it if the artist after me takes down Blink and puts Drake back up. But I'm gonna talk my shit for a second.
Hey man, I love Blink-182 is one of my top bands too. I'm not mad at it.
Bet.
All right, dude. That was sick, bro. I appreciate you doing this. Let everybody know where they can follow you and listen to all the music.
Yeah. So Sa13m Shawty on Instagram. Spelling my name is a lot more complicated on streaming platforms. So just hit the link in my Instagram bio. And follow my Instagram. I'm the most active on my Instagram. If you want to work together, if you just want to hit me up and tell me how much you hate me, DM me. I look at all my DMs and I respond to everybody. So go ahead and remember to just don't take life too seriously.
Thank you for making this happen, taking the time, and yeah, man, this was like really enjoyable. So appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate you and everything you do for the community.